people that I grew up with are also still doing music. Luckily I get to see some of them because of that, like people like Nick and Alfie from Dusky, and my friend Rory who's DJ Klose One.
Who I used to like ride around BMXing with, and my brother, we'd all like either make tunes together or kind of make music on our own and kind of like show it to each other. So yeah, that was part of the kind of excitement of like, you know, seeing who could get a better tune going. I actually remember buying a copy of Music 2000 for the PlayStation.
A guy called Nick and a guy called Tom and a guy called Jasper, they all lived on my street. We lived right next to Alexandra Palace. I remember listening to sort of old school hardcore tapes with Nick, and Nick is actually one half of Dusky now, so that's kind of quite random that we are still kind of mates and we're actually doing the same kind of thing.
We met when we were about 12. We just used to hang out in the park, skateboard, do what young lads do, and just talk about music.
Nick had some decks, so we used to go and play on his sound labs with all these old records. And I remember he was really good friends with Charlie, who's Break, the drum and bass producer, and he was like a sick turntablist. And so he used to come round and he used to play on Nick's decks and we used to just watch him. My friend Rory, who's DJ Klose One, he was a big part of sort of growing up, introducing me to kind of dance music.
We turn up at each other's houses with a little plastic bag full of the latest records you bought that week, and then we'd mix for hours and hours and hours.
Swapping music and swapping like techniques.
It's completely mad that that me, Matt and Nick are all kind of actually still doing that, and it's kind of to think back, they all started that long ago and sort of together essentially, and that now we get the opportunity to actually play gigs together and kind of play at the same festivals and play the same lineups, and that's really amazing.
I started DJing out at like venues and house parties and putting on drum and bass nights like sixth form college with my mate, this guy called Joe London, and everyone came was underage, and after 3 nights the guys just said that we couldn't do it anymore because so many kids were coming in doing credit card fraud and just like running up like kids who just obviously just rob people's wallets a lot, come in with stolen credit cards, buy like 3 grand's worth of booze, give it to all their mates, and then just leave without paying. So the guy's like, your nights are really good and they're pumping and you're playing sick tunes, but
attracting the wrong crowd.
Yeah. Obviously Mistajam and One Extra has been a massive help. Like, I think he was the first person, and he's definitely said this before too.
Yeah.
I found Gorgon City. I mean, to be honest, I'd heard of what Matt and Kai were doing separately as their own producers in their own right. Rack and Ruin, obviously Matt, and Kai as FOMO. So when I'd heard that the pair of them had joined forces and they were making music together, I just really wanted to hear what they came with. And when I first heard Real, I was completely blown away. It came to the point where I was playing it 4 times in a show, every single time that I was on air.
Big name DJs that we know, like, you know, Scream and people like Ben Westbeach, Breach, and like just loads of people that we see out on the road all the time. Everyone kind of chatting about just making music and how things are going. Like, everyone's kind of, you know, in the same boat when it comes to like making, you know, albums and stuff.
Especially Rudimental, like when we started Gorgon City, that was just when they had Feel the Love, and, you know, eventually got to #1, and kind of just seeing how they've been doing things. We've been like supporting them around the UK and Australia, so they've sort of been a big part of what we do.
It's really important to have those connections, because, you know, when you're travelling and you're on your own and you've got kind of like tunes to download to get into your DJ set, you know, it's good to have people to sort of, you know, bounce off and share tunes with, you know. Like, I know Matt's like giving me quite a few tunes for our DJ set, vice versa.
It's important to have your mates around you, having someone that you've grown up with and you know you can trust is like important.